So in what again in 2021, we did lose a few icons in this year, right?
Yeah. Always do.
Yeah, it is the nature of this thing. You had DMX.
Yeah, X.
Render, were you a DMX fan?
Yeah, I grew up with him, like slightly. He was something my big brother used to play all the time. Okay. So
he's big in our day.
Yeah. That guy had 2 #1 albums released in the same year.
Which
in the
is
same 12-month period. Yeah, I mean, no one does that. DMX was big.
Dark and Hell is
DMX was bigger than Jay-Z. See, Jay-Z was always the second biggest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, right, I mean, there was Eminem, there was 50 Cent, there was DMX. Jay-Z was always second to one of them.
But he just was
always
outlasted
him.
He outlasted
and he was always there. He was always second.
Yeah.
And then he outlasted him. Well, not Eminem, but. Yeah. So then at the end of the day, it became him and Eminem are
the two
the kings of hip-hop. I mean, just in terms of import, whether you like them or not.
On a side note, what did I just hear about another content from our world coming out? They're supposed to be working on a Supreme McGriff story. I know you did some stuff.
Oh, whatever. Who? 50 Cent or somebody?
Somebody else.
Yeah, right. Well, they're gonna do with black crime what went on with mafia stuff. We'll have a period of 10 years of we're just get black gangsters from the 80s shoved down our throat.
Well, I'm hoping
we got to make sure we get in on that.
Well, we got the best story. Let's say we got
one
outside.
There's some music outside.
Oh, okay. Detroit, downtown Detroit, live. Got shit popping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it's our turn.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Keep at it.
I was, just shout out to James Cooper Pep. We just talked to him.
Go buy his book. Bound by Honor, Torn by Greed.
Bound by Honor, Torn by Greed. Great book.
Available on Amazon.
Yeah. So, another
YBI,
guy would just...
You might have heard them mention in the BMF, the YBI, Young Boys Incorporated. Well...
This guy, James Cooper, there when it began. Another one, I'm going to put you guys out there to draw you out. I was just talking to Five, Big Steve, Fat
Big
Steve.
50,
everybody
baby.
know 50. Another just really original... his life, what those guys saw.
They was millionaires as teenagers. Real life in the early 80s when $1 million meant something.
Right, they was making more money than Jordan. And like that,
for real.
Like in 83, 84, they were making more money than Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And they were not even 21 years old.
Nope.
And to really unpack that, because, I moved to New York in 87. There were some young guys getting some money, but nothing like with this phenomenon that had happened in Detroit with YBI.
Well, that probably was an outgrowth. So we were talking about, the power, the political power, and we were saying, the black man could kill 3 white men and cockerel and rabbits and a black mayor. Well, probably only in a city
with a black mayor
could could those even criminals, not promoting criminal activity, but conceptualize. Hey, I'm a 19-year-old black man. I can run this town too.
Yeah,
I can make millions and have lawyers and bribe judges and kill people in broad daylight and get away with it. And again, not promoting that, but another level of imagination. The conception of what they could do, even on the negative side.
On the negative side, there was a sense of empowerment.
Yep.
And I think every assuredly. African American of my age and a little bit older, when you get out and you travel, we Detroiters do have a little different attitude than the sense of empowerment, in the sense that it ain't nothing we ain't supposed to be able to do if we want to do it. That is not a common thing in America.
I've had the experience being in LA, and I've been known to enjoy the company of African Americans. The people in LA, it's almost sometimes it's like, are these the same people from Detroit?
No, it's a different animal. So yeah, Pep, Five, y'all need to get out here. We need to do some things in 2022. You guys' story for real needs to be told.
By you, because listen, I'm going to tell you something. The YBI story is going to get told because now it's been launched. See, all the Hollywood stuff just runs off of familiarity and branding. That's why they like to put out, you had a best-selling science fiction or fantasy series, it's going to be a movie.
Yep.
Oh, you were in the news cycle, you were on the front page of the paper sometime, and now you already have a name recognition. So now that it's been being mentioned in the BMF thing, which is popular, there's going to be some level of a YBI story. Somebody going to do it.
5, shout out Tracy.
They're going to tell it for you if you don't get involved.
Oh, yeah, let me add in. I was talking to, we were actually all together a couple months ago. For me, 5, Tracy, a.k.a. Jabba the Hutt, shout out. Scotty D.
Reaganomics?
Reagan wasn't there, but I did talk to Reagan. Reagan got some things going, yeah. I mean,
that Reaganomics interview.
You got to get Reagan, you hear that? Yeah. We got it's going down. But no, that YBI, something is going to happen with that YBI thing. You got the BMF series starts off with the Meech characters saying, when we grew up, we wanted to be like YBI.
Yeah.
And of course, from here from the Motown Mafia camp, you can't understand YBI without understanding what happened with the Motown Mafia, the Eddie Jackson, Courtney Brown situation.
This town makes some good criminal brand names.
Just a unique city. Again, I think that whole thing you were saying of why Detroit has such a disproportionate amount of large-scaled hustlers.
Because they can dream it.
They can.
You got to be able to dream it before you can achieve it.
And it was the one of the few cities where a black man having a lot of money.
Motown was here. Sort of like how Atlanta became, where you could ride around in something nice. You could have a nice house, and maybe you're a criminal, maybe you weren't.
Right.
And even if you were, so what? Who was going to do something? But it didn't mean you were going to just get it taken from you or harassed.
On that note, as much as Meech was balling out of control down there, he didn't stick out.
Not that much.
So
a casual observer can be like, oh, maybe that's a rapper, maybe that's an athlete.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because prior to him getting there, people like Jermaine Dupri were already riding around town in drop-top Bentleys with do-rags on their head. Yeah. So it wasn't like,
unheard of.
Unlike if you were in Cleveland.
Yeah. So the only place you can really do it, Detroit, Atlanta, of course, New York, just because it's so big. LA, sort of, but LA is weird because you can kind of figure out who people, It's like, are you in the entertainment industry? If not, who the hell are you?
You're not an athlete or entertainer.
Yeah, they can figure out who you are, kind of. There's a lot of people riding around with stuff, but you can figure out who they are.
The guy from The Wire, one of our favorite shows, Lou.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Michael K. Williams.
Fentanyl.
You did killed Omar.
It's 2021 story, yeah.
What do you say? What was the number you said about? We were talking off camera about the.
There's 100,000 overdose deaths in the United States in 2020, and I'm sure it'll be more in 2021, which is the record higher than anything in the 80s, 90s. Bulk of them from opioids, bulk of that from fentanyl, but lots from cocaine, some from meth. I mean,
is there still a war on drugs? Is there still a war on drugs?
Doesn't you kind of gotta want to get caught, or you gotta be doing some real. Hey, we make 100,000 a day in the South Bronx. Come arrest us. But I mean, it doesn't seem it's a war. Well, there was a war on violence and guns, but even that seemed to go away during 2020. They better be careful with that. That they let the liberal college people come with that defund the police, and certainly the police do lots of bad stuff, but there's some rough people running around, and if there's no check and balance at all, I mean, homicide was up 30% in 2020 for the whole country. That's unheard of.
The Kingpin's kid, I say we need more police.
Yeah.
Now, for real.
Because you want the real criminals, like professional criminal, not, but like just anybody feeling like, oh, I can go outside with a gun and some drugs. And LA, man, you can smoke meth and shoot heroin on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And the restaurants are going to pull up and ask you what you want, what free food you want. They come give you free. Skid Row there, they give them free haircuts. On probation day, the police come and set up trailers with probation and parole officers, so those people don't have to get on the bus to go nowhere. They can check in right there in Skid Row.
Wow.
They make it so easy for them.
Wow. Yeah, so now society, the liberals are out of control. We do not need to defund the police. And I ain't saying that.
Need to make them do their job right. They do lots of bad stuff.
They need to do that, but for people out there doing whatever they do, you probably should want to think about doing something different. But if you is doing what you're going to do, more police ain't going to be the problem, because the police don't care what you're doing on the block if you ain't killing nobody.
Yeah, right.
To be honest,
right, yeah.
I mean,
police is for these crackheads stealing, like you know,
or the psychopaths.
Here's the rule: if you get to use drugs, if you can do it without causing nobody else any problems, I guess it's okay.
No one cares.
But if you out stealing, you abandon your child to the state.
That's when it gets
You
off.
don't get to use drugs. You don't get to drink no vodka. None of the above.
That's when it gets off.
None of the above.
It was just time to really tell a great untold Detroit story, because it kind of covers Detroit at its zenith.
Very interesting story.
We decided that we were going to make a movie.
All right, Rich Rossi with you with Motown Mafia. I'm with Courtney.
Lewis Stevens.
Lewis Stevens, Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown Jr.
And Alan Al Prophet Bradley.
And this is an entrepreneurial, inspirational story too, because again, you know, I'm a real estate retail guy. You know, that's what my skill set is. But I'm a businessman, so I was like, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, sometimes when you got a dream, you won't have all the answers on how you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
What made this one unique was not so much the crime, but the intertwining with Detroit's history and the Motown era and kind of the economic decline of Detroit. And it's really the story of a family. And from some perspectives, it's has a happy ending, like you said. For others, it didn't have a happy ending.
Right.